Hello, welcome to the Mask Confessor. You probably don't know me, or you might, but that's not important. I would like to keep it anonymous, but I will be telling my truth. There is a lot of things that I've been dying to get off my chest, but would literally cost me my relationships, my jobs, my reputation. So I would like to keep the mask on, but I will be telling all of my truth here. I'm someone that people would always refer to as quiet, as reserved, private, especially, which I don't disagree. I am constantly, consciously hiding so many aspects of myself. I'm always afraid of talking too much and kind of like spilling pieces of information about myself that would change how others perceive me in a negative light. And so I am always quiet. I'm always reserved. I'm always thought of as a private person. So with making these videos, I hope that I can become more comfortable with who I am and just be more confident and unapologetically myself and not afraid to voice like who I am and what I believe in. So today I'm coming out. I'm obviously still very much in the closet in real life. No one knows that I'm gay other than probably a past few hookups that I've had. There isn't anyone that I could come across in person at any time in the future that would know that I'm gay. And I've done a really good job and still am in hiding it for so many years. I mean, I've known since I was 4 and I'm a lot older now. One of my earliest memories was actually when I was 4. I would have these conversations with my brother. He would ask me occasionally at the time, what gives me a boner? He would ask me that a couple times actually. And I would always tell him when I think of funny stuff. I never went into detail of what I meant by funny stuff because I knew that this funny stuff wasn't normal. Even at 4 years old, I knew that it wasn't normal. And I was afraid to be fully transparent. So, what I meant by funny stuff is actually a comedy skit. It was kind of like a Broadway show type of vibe that starred two guys on stage. They were just talking and laughing, and they were kind of like tapping each other as they were talking and laughing. You know, the thing that people do when they flirt, where they would like laugh at your joke and then kind of like hit you lightly, maybe on the shoulder, on the chest, whatever. So it was like that, but with two guys on a stage. And I termed it comedy because obviously they were laughing, and also because it was two men, grown men, tapping each other. And where I'm from, you would never see two guys touching each other, like ever. So it was so, like, that scene was like unusual. And so I don't know why, but I just termed it as like comedy. Fun fact, now that I'm an adult, I've done my research, and gay acts, even holding hands, like two guys holding hands in public, is actually considered a crime where I'm from. Like, you could literally go to jail. So that's probably why I've never seen that ever growing up. So all that is to say, I had always known I was different since I was 4. But that being said, I actually did not know the term gay or even the concept and idea that a guy could like another guy. I did not know that it was a thing. But I knew that I always had crushes and feelings for my guy classmates, starting from kindergarten. From kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, I would always have crushes on my guy classmates. And I was so confused. I didn't understand why. Because all I knew was that a guy would like a girl and a girl would like a guy, end of story. And I never thought of myself as a special kid. So the idea that I'm like the first person in the world and the only person or the only person in the world who was a guy who liked another guy was just unfathomable. It didn't make sense. So actually, for the longest time, I've held on to 2 theories that kept me sane. Either this was just a phase, something that I eventually would grow out of and just one day magically start liking girls. Or theory number 2, I thought that I am not a human, but I'm some type of creature that's like created in a lab by aliens in outer space that's been sent to this planet as an experiment to see what would happen if a guy liked another guy. These theories made more sense to me than like just being gay, because again, I didn't know it was a thing. It wasn't until in grade 6, so about 12 years old, where I was introduced to porn. My older brother actually introduced me to these type of videos. He showed me a straight video, and when I saw it for the first time, I still remember what video it was. I was like kind of aroused a little bit. It was weird having my brother like there, but I was still aroused a little bit. But I was aroused by seeing the guy on the screen, not the girl. And, even time and time after that, I would just occasionally, for fun, not even, doing anything, just for fun, I would browse those type of videos like on my own time. And I would just like watch it for the storyline. And I would always be interested in like looking and aroused by the guy and not the girl. It wasn't until one of the times where I was watching a straight video, and there was an advertisement that popped up on the side, and it was 2 guys making out. When I saw this advertisement, I still remember like clear as day the advertisement, what I felt. I felt so many things. I was excited, I was aroused, but I remember being so like scared, and I felt like my life was over, literally then and there. Because when I saw this, I realized that both my theories were proven false, right? The theories that I talked about earlier. This was not a phase, number 1. And number 2, I was not sent by some aliens in outer space as an experiment. Because I'm not the only guy in the world who is attracted to other guy. Clearly, there is an advertisement of 2 guys making out. This was actually a thing. And I was so scared, and I did not want to be a part of it. Since then, I tried everything to make myself straight. I resisted my urge to watch gay content, obviously. I prayed the gay away every day. I dated girls. You name it, I've probably tried it. But regardless of all the things that I've tried, I obviously could not. And with a lot of research and self-discovery and life experiences, it's clear as day that being gay is not a choice. It's assigned at birth. We're born this way. In fact, today science even confirms it. Sexual orientation is not something that a person chooses or can change through any means. whether it's therapy, persuasion, whatever you think can change someone's sexual orientation, you cannot, and science proves it. Our sexuality is shaped before we even step out of our mother's womb. It's influenced by a mix of things, slightly genetics, and largely by prenatal conditions. So again, it's not something that we can control. And understanding this fact actually helped me accept this part of me, that I'm gay. I'm no longer trying to fight it. I've come to terms with it and understand that this is who I will be until the day I die. But accepting something and being happy with it is two completely different things. And I'm not going to lie, being gay, I'm not happy with it, and it's still one of my biggest insecurities. The environment that I grew up in was very hostile towards gay people. Literally every single person around me perceives gay in such a negative light. There isn't a single person that I have come across where I'm from who is in support of LGBTQ. All the conversations that people have about gay people are always that it's wrong. All my friends, relatives, aunts, uncles, always speaking about gay people with this tone of disgust. And I can still remember each and every conversation that I either overheard or was a part of about gay people. I can still remember each and every one of them. But there is one moment specifically that really haunts me a lot. I was in middle school. I was having dinner with my parents, my siblings, and my grandparents. And my grandma was always interested in my dating life. She had asked me, "Who are you dating in school?" And I just laughed it off and I told her, "Oh, I'm not dating anyone." "Well, do you like anyone?" she said. I was like, I don't think so, no. And out of the blue, my parents just kind of jumped in and said, "You can date anyone you want and you can like anyone you want as long as it's not a boy." That was really, really traumatizing, hearing that come out of their mouth. And this was the first time I ever hear them talking about like the topic of gay. This was the first ever time, and it was like this. So this was extremely traumatizing. Personally, what has really helped me all these years was, especially recently, again, is understanding that it's not a choice. It's how God intended it for us to be. Or if you don't believe in God, it's how the universe created us. From the moment that we step foot on this planet, we have our sexuality assigned to us. Understanding this fact has personally helped me a lot. And honestly, like if it isn't already obvious, being gay is not hurting anyone. So really there's nothing to be ashamed of, which is really ironic for me to say because I'm still ashamed of it more days than not. But yeah, that is all. And truth is, I am making progress every day. I'm becoming more and more comfortable with my sexuality. And honestly, I cannot wait for the day where I'm not just comfortable with it, or I don't just accept it, but fully embrace it. And I'm really hopeful that I will get there. And for any one of you who is going through the same thing, I'm certain that we will all get there eventually. What really inspires me to want to get there and keep pushing forward is seeing the people who are and who have come out fully, who are able to and who have come out fully. And how all these people seem to share the same sentiment about how incredibly liberating, freeing, and joyful it is. Like, they all always say the same thing. After coming out, it's when your life, their life, truly begins. Thank you guys for listening. I look forward to airing out more confessions that I'm dying to get off my chest. And I hope to catch you on the next episode.